Hi, my name's Deku, and I was once a boy that was gifted with nothing, but now that I have my quirk, I'm going to use that quirk to fulfill my lifelong dream of becoming a hit. What's that? 7. So I have 7 quirks now. Oh, 7 new ones. So I have 8 quirks now. It's 8 quirks? Okay. Guys, come on. This doesn't change anything. I'm still your underdog hero, right? Right? What's up? It's Truth Hero, and welcome back to another My Hero Academia chapter review. Today, we'll be reviewing Boku no Hero Academia chapter 213 of the manga, and let's just dive into what this bald user of One for All has to say to Deku. Chapter 213 opens where we left off with Deku talking to this bald vestige, and I heard you guys in the fan community were calling him Hellboy. I mean, it makes sense, so alright, I'll bite. Hellboy tells Deku about the core of One for All, and that this is where the vestiges and all their power are stored, and lo and behold, that this core is starting to swell, and with it, One for All is getting stronger. He also goes on to tell Deku that the vestiges and their powers and how they manifest are often triggered by the user's emotions. In this case here, Deku was very angry and wanted to capture Monoma, so what better way to do this than to use a very adamant user of One for All and his quirk Black Whip. Black Whip. Sounds kinky.
That sounds explicit.
Let's talk about Hellboy's quirk for a second. Now, in previous chapters, it looked like Deku was expelling black lightning from his arms and from his body. However, a lot of you noted that this material actually looks like Venom from Spider-Man. And give yourself a round of applause. You're correct. We now know that it was a manifestation of the quirk Black Whip, and it only makes sense for Horikoshi to include another reference to Spider-Man as he's a huge fan. In fact, the character based on Spider-Man in My Hero Academia, Sero, is actually the character to say, I wonder if Deku is creating a new technique. Well, of course Sero, a.k.a. Spidey, would know this because it's his enemy, Venom. So I think it's really cool we have this reference of Sero being Spider-Man and now Deku/Hellboy being Venom. The question now is, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below, will Deku be able to use Black Whip in this match? And I say yes. Personally, I think it's going to come down to Shinso versus Deku. Deku with his newly acquired BDSM quirk, and Shinso with his Aizawa-style magical anime scarf. As we saw in the last panel of the chapter, Shinso extends this scarf to try to capture Uraraka, and then Deku grabs it out of midair. And Aizawa-sensei says, fight on. Let the match continue. Can't believe I just said BDSM in a My Hero Academia chapter that didn't feature Midnight. What the Hellboy is going on? The only thing that Deku kind of has to be careful with now is controlling his emotions around this new quirk. As we saw, Black Whip is infused with the power of One for All, and it's a lot stronger than when Hellboy used it. And anger can be a great motivator, and it can be very powerful for his quirk, but it's going to make it very unstable. It's not the best thing for a hero in training. Deku even admits that recently, he's been rather susceptible to his emotions, and I really like this moment of honesty from him. He says that lately, his thoughts have been cloudy, and that if he's going to master this new quirk, he's going to need to focus from here on out. And let's not forget, it's not just Black Whip he has to master. No, it's 6 other quirks, for a grand total of 7 new quirks. 7! But hey, Deku's still your regular shonen protagonist who has been given nothing and will rise to be a hero. Nothing's changed here. What the heck? How did he get so many quirks? I kind of feel bad for All Might. He's just on the sidelines like, what? I didn't know this was a thing. Where was this when I was fighting All for One? Thanks a lot, guys. This is definitely a turning point in the story of My Hero Academia. Now, I know I keep joking about the fact that, hey, Deku, with all these new quirks, he's still the same guy. But honestly, it's not the same. My Hero Academia has always focused on the fact that Deku does not have a quirk, but wants to be a hero. Now he finally gets a quirk, and then it's all about him mastering this quirk and being the best hero because we know he's going to be the best. However, now that he has all these talents and all these gifts, it's not really the same unlikely underdog hero story. At least it doesn't really feel like that for me anymore. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. How do you feel about Deku having multiple quirks? And I'm not just talking about him finding one that was hidden and then he also has One for All. No, now he has 8 quirks that could be very, very powerful. Is Deku OP? And is he still the same hero that we met in the beginning? Let me know down below. It's definitely going to take some getting used to, but I think I'm going to like it. And I'll do a separate video on why it makes sense for Deku to have all these quirks, but basically it comes down to this. Deku is destined to be the greatest hero of all time and the one to stop All For One. He's destined to do what All Might ultimately couldn't. Now you have All For One and Shigaraki on one side with all these quirks that they've stolen, and Deku with One For All and the quirks of the Vestiges on the other. It only makes sense that the end of My Hero Academia is going to end in some huge cataclysmic battle with all these quirks coming together, and that this story about 2 brothers, one evil and one righteous, is going to come to an end. The quirk All For One and One For All will be extinguished. So this is the beginning of the end. I'm not saying My Hero Academia is going to end anytime soon, but it's certainly setting up why Deku is the single person who can defeat Shigaraki and maybe All For One. So besides the whole Deku drama, the remaining few panels of this chapter are the continuation of the 5th match between Class 1A and Class 1B. Now everyone's pretty startled and just getting their bearings from what just happened. Well, except for Monoma. Monoma, freaking relax, dude. Could you just chill for 1 second? Deku just got out of this trance seance thing with One For All Hellboy, and you immediately attack him. Also, Uraraka said not to do that, so kudos on that, buddy. But then again, I don't know what else I expected from Monoma's character, so okay. Now, in the process of Deku coming out of his trance, he actually realizes that he did hurt Uraraka, or at the very least, gave her some bumps and bruises. And he, in this moment, would be immediately concerned if it weren't for frickin' Monoma attacking him. Now, I do love that Monoma did this. It does wonders for his character because that's who Monoma is. But I do wish Horikoshi would have shown Deku's more sensitive side and explored these emotions of regret in hurting Uraraka a little bit. And what I predict for the next chapter, it's going to be a continuation of the match. They're going to finish it. Whoever wins, wins. And then Deku's going to have a very introspective and reflective look at himself again, and he's going to acknowledge that he needs to control his quirk better because not only is it hurting his body, but now he's bringing others into his mess. And really, from this point on, I just have questions. I have questions for you guys. Comment below. Who's going to win this match? I think ultimately Deku will win, but it's going to be him versus Shinso, not in a battle of his quirk, One For All, and Shinso's brainwashing quirk, but instead Shinso's scarf versus Black Whip. Also, we all know everyone's watching this. We all just saw Deku use something, some quirk, and if he uses it, like I predict he will, they're going to know that Deku has another quirk. So, how is Deku going to explain this to his classmates, especially Bakugo? As always, thanks for watching. Leave your thoughts in your comments below. Who's going to win this match? How are they going to do it? And how is Deku going to explain all this to his friends? Also, what's your philosophy and your take on the story of My Hero Academia now that Deku is a very different hero? If you like these My Hero Academia chapter reviews or My Hero Academia content, consider enrolling at UA today by clicking that subscribe button down below. And make sure you guys tap the bell notification so you're never late for one of Aizawa Sensei's classes. Until next time, Plus Ultra.